Welcome to the Jay and Jack Show. My name is Jay.
I'm Jack.
I mean, if this is not tied to any TV show, I mean, could you come up with something new every single week? I don't know.
Different name?
Yeah.
I'm George. It's not that hard. There's billions of names out there.
From Raleigh, North Carolina, it's the Jay and Jack Show, starring Jay and Jack, featuring special guest Ralph Apel. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to this new show that's not reunites, because we still have podcasted.
Reunited and it feels so good.
But that actually has Jack and I podcasting together.
Yes.
Old school style.
Roots.
Well, like 14 years. 14 years of podcasting.
You were only
20.
17, right?
I was 20.
20.
I'm 30. I'll be 34 this year.
Really? Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, you got 2 kids now.
I have 2 kids. They've aged me. I look like I'm 70.
You're Jan Michael Vincent.
I'm not that bad. That's a pre-spoiler.
Again, I
Is that a
apologize.
preview of later conversations? But yeah.
Kids will age you.
Kids will age. Yeah, so 2 now, but feel like I took a long break from podcasting.
Yeah, you took some time off.
6 months, I think, after Westworld and with Jay, Jack, and Mike. Took a break. Needed to recharge the podcasting.
You still have
batteries,
top billing on the Ramblecast.
which I don't feel right about. Maybe, but I think Jacob did it just to kind of F with Nick. 'Cause I think it really bugs Nick.
Well, to be fair, he was the one that complained about it. Because people go to me, they go, "Why aren't you ever first?" I go, "I don't care."
Well, I think we've come to the conclusion that anything with Jack and Jay just doesn't sound.
It doesn't
very
sound
good.
right. Now, maybe we had started that way, but I wasn't even sure I was going to continue it. So it's like,
Yeah.
because you were just saying, it's a lost podcast with Jay and whoever the next guy is.
Next.
Stupid podcast.
Yeah, you weren't bought into it. I don't think you were bought into it. So maybe when Jorge called at 5 episodes in or something.
That was pretty cool.
And then
I
he's
think
like-
that's
then
what
it's
sold me on it.
Yeah, because I remember you were so excited.
I said, "Wow, is that really him?"
Yeah.
We even when he wanted to have at Comic-Con, he wanted to have dinner, and we're like, "Hey, some guy's saying he's Jorge wants to have dinner with us. I don't know. We trust this guy." So we kept going back and forth, and he finally sent a photo of himself. "Do you believe me now?"
Yeah.
It's really him.
I forgot about the picture he sent. Do you believe me now?
Because it was like, and then he called us.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we was like, "Oh my god! All right, I'll keep podcasting." So, when's Evangeline Lilly calling?
She never did. We did interview her though,
Yes. We did.
controversially.
Yeah, because you called her Evie.
Met her before that. Though. Met her when we were on the set.
She's very nice. She's very nice. We've met her
incredibly. We met her a few times after that.
because we're making fun of Nick, but Nick introduced us to him a couple times.
Yeah, Nick has a lot of restraining orders against him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this podcast, Back to the Roots of Jack and I, and this was one season, or our first season. It's going to be intended to be 12 episodes weekly, so through the end of May or somewhere around there, and we'll have specials through the rest of the year. I think we have ideas for maybe a Comic-Con special, a Halloween special, maybe a Thanksgiving special, definitely a Christmas special. So lots of stuff to come here. So definitely subscribe.
Comic-Con, we can have some big guests. Lined up.
Huge.
Yeah, we'll have big guests coming in.
Yeah. We'll just put a microphone up to some other panels and splice it in like they're
Sneak
on
up
our
there
show.
We're invisible.
How'd you get Robert Downey Jr.? It's like, we have the ways.
Just don't you have your Sharpie out.
Yeah. But yes, so every week we will be on, and Jack and I will have our classic banter. Can we say it's classic banter? Jay and Jack banter?
I think it's classic.
You've been around over a decade. You can probably call it classic.
It's just the same banner. We just dub it in each.
It's like a Mad Lib. We just fill in the blank. I mean, at this point, it's just
it's like whatever.
I don't even really try to know. Yeah, so...
But did people go, do you plan what you talk about? I go, did you listen?
But each week we also have a special guest. And this week we have, for our first guest, I feel like first guests on shows always have to be that special person, you know, like so. the special friend of the show. And we have a lot. But I felt like
that sounded kind of conceited.
That we have a lot of friends.
We have a lot of friends.
Well, I don't want anybody to feel like they weren't special, that they weren't the first.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But okay,
and
he designed the logo, the Lost logo.
He designed the Dharma iPod logo that is so much associated with our show, and it's mainly why I want Jacob, that made the artwork for this show. I was like, I think we should have an iPod on there because I feel like we're like geezers in the podcast world, and nobody even uses iPods anymore.
Recognize it?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a bit of a callback that we've been at this a while.
It's like a rotary dial phone.
Yeah, exactly. What is that?
What is that?
How do I work this? But Ralph Apel from Dharmalars and all of his other shows is going to be our first guest. We're really excited. But each week we'll have some people you may have heard before, some of our longtime friends, as well as some new people, some new voices that you've never heard on a Jay and Jack show before. So it should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. This show is made possible by our Patreon page, and a lot of podcasts out there do it. We've been doing a Patreon for a while, and much like NPR, any of those publicly funded shows, we have a lot of podcasts. All of our podcasters share what Patreon gives, as well as all of our hosting fees. And this one is a big part of that as well. So if you like this show, or if you like all of our other shows and want to contribute to help make these shows possible, you can do so by going to patreon.com/JayandJack. There's a bunch of different levels. And when you're at the $5 or more, we're going to have special bonus episodes of the Jay and Jack show with footage. Or I guess it's not footage. It's not audio.
There you go.
That didn't make it into the official episode. So you can, this is actually recorded after talking with Ralph, but we talked over an hour with Ralph, and you're only going to hear maybe 30, 40 minutes of that.
We had to cut him off.
Huh?
We told Ralph, you have to go.
Yeah.
We're done.
We've had enough of you. But there's a lot of stuff there that just couldn't make it into our normal episode because of time. And for our patrons that give $5 or more a month, you will be able to hear some of the stuff didn't make it into the actual show. It's like getting behind the scenes or getting exclusive bonus content from the Jay and Jack show. And it not only do you get the fun content, but it helps support all the shows on the network, like Ramblecast After Dark, which I lead on the billing, but I'm not on. And
people do ask, they go, Jay's on here. When is he going to be on? I go, never. You do show up on the... No.
I did your live show that one time.
That's right.
I mean, really, I started this show because people started thinking I was fired. Like, you know, one of your great jokes against Ralph is that he fired Ben
I
from
said,
the Dharmalars.
I go, no, he's welcome anytime he wants. His name's on the thing.
But again, even this Jay and Jack show, this new show, would not be possible without our patrons. So again, thank you to our patrons if you'd like to become one. Again, patreon.com/JayandJack, or go to jayandjack.com and click on the patron link. So, Jack, you have a few more grandkids since the last time we did a podcast together.
It's keeping me young.
Sure.
And then your mom goes, we have to get a bigger car. I go, why? She goes, we're going to have more grandkids. We already have 3. We only have room for 2. I go, well, what's the odds of us having them all together?
Well, I mean, there's going to be times where I assume you'll have them all at once.
Because I've been looking at motorhomes. That's what I've been looking at.
You just go on the road.
Just get on the road. And cruise.
Now, that'd be a good Crazy Hank show, just you going to different cities.
Yeah, that's what I told your mom.
Yeah.
I said, here's Crazy Hank in Idaho. I hear you guys are good.
Your first pick is Idaho? Like you have the entire United States?
I don't know why Idaho just popped into my head. Well, I've never been to the Grand Canyon.
Okay, yeah.
I want to go to Deadwood.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I want to see Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I'm gonna wait till they put another
Idaho.
I like French fries.
Yeah.
I don't know why Idaho came to me. Nothing. Well, now people think we hate Idaho.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, our listeners in Idaho, I apologize.
What would I don't know.
I'm just excited for Crazy Hank on the Road, episode 1. Idaho.
We got 6 views on that one.
Boise. I'm in Boise. All right. Well, I think it's time we bring on our first ever guest. It's our good friend from the Dharmalars and much, much more, Ralph Apel. And now on our show, none other than Ralph Apel.
Yep.
From,
how's it going?
The Kaiju podcast. All right, let's do a podcast. Your Patreon
Dharmalars.
exclusive podcast. And Dharmalars.
Yeah, Dharmalars are back in sort of a biannual, like twice a year, sort of.
I'm thankful for twice a year because when you did your first one back, when was that? Was that May?
It was about a year ago.
A year ago?
The first one was back when it did the they did the telethon.
Oh yes,
charity.
The charity podcast we did. But I'm saying since they've come back since that special reunion show.
The re-come back.
You know, Jack's one of your favorite things to harp. There's 2 things you like to harp on Ralph about. One of them is for
Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan.
That he's afraid of the.
But you should feel special every time I see Wrath of Khan. I think of you.
There was a listener who I think the last time we did the Autism Speaks, or it might have been for something else. One of our mutual listeners was like, "I'm sure Jack's going to talk about you firing Ben."
And so Jack can't use that anymore because Ben and the Dharmalars are back.
Yeah,
that sucks for me.
Not this past December, but a year ago December, a friend of mine had a bachelor weekend, and I reconnected with Ben. And yeah, it was around this time last year that we did our first Dharmalars, like 2.0, I guess you would call it. And then we did one after the Lost concert that Jack was so nice to give us the tickets that I'm sure he paid out the nose for, but
it went to someone special, so it's okay.
I mean, I feel like if anyone was going to appreciate those tickets, it would probably be me. I feel like
I was surprised you weren't going because I bought tickets assuming you were going to be there because again we introed this show by saying one of the points of having the show is just to be able to talk to our friends because nobody lives near us out of our podcast friends. But I was like, oh, perfect, we can hang with Ralph because he's definitely going to be there.
Yeah, I remember signing up. Like Gikino posted a thing with a link where you can sign up for a newsletter, and then as soon as I got the announcement that it was there, it was like the only tickets left were in the back, and they were like something like $80 each, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to drop like, I don't know math, but like $160 on a seat for me and Stevie, and then by the time I decided, it was like already done. It was sold out.
Could you have been like, sorry, Stevie, but would that have flown?
No. Well, I mean, maybe. I do go up to LA a lot, but I mean, and this is the concert was fairly similar to the one he did before the finale. Mm-hmm. He did a Lost Symphony where they did that music, and then they showed the penultimate episode of Lost. Yep. So it was a very similar.
Well, he did one in Hawaii too. Right, there was the one in Hawaii.
He's doing one in Ireland,
and then there was the LA one years ago that I think that one you went to.
Is he doing one in Ireland? I know he was thinking about it.
That's what I heard. I got tickets, so if I can't go, they're all yours.
It's interesting because me and Stevie happen to be planning a trip to Ireland that month.
What?
Okay, I was
So
just
if
kidding.
he does, if he does happen to do a show there, I mean, yeah, give me those tickets.
Well, it was funny because
They'll be my supplier.
Well, when we found out we couldn't go, my wife and I said, "Well, I might as well." And Jay goes, "Well, Ralph doesn't have tickets." I go, "No." I go, "You can have them."
And then, because I'm going to be honest, Ralph, Dharmalars is one of my favorite podcasts of all time. I leaped for joy when you sent me, was it a teaser for it, or you texted me or something? Was it the actual episode? Either way, I
think
was
I
super
had
pumped.
done an updated artwork for the new version of the show, and I think I sent that to you.
Okay. I was really pumped, but I haven't listened to the post-concert episode because I'm still bitter that I didn't get to go because that stupid hurricane or whatever that hit.
Yeah. Well, what was great about it, and I now in hindsight, like me and Stevie had a great time. Like I'm not rubbing it in. I'm just saying like it was totally appreciated, and I'm sure I can get you back somehow. Either get you into the park. I'm not going to spend money. I don't have it. But
Speaking of the park,
the venue was amazing. It was actually a pretty small venue as far as full orchestra, but it was a very intimate setting. So those $80 seats would have actually been perfectly fine, even though they were like in the last row. There wasn't a bad seat in the house. Just an amazing venue. I started like I went on the venue and added myself to like their newsletter in case any other film score stuff happes there. There was zero hassle.
Did it sound good too?
What's that?
Did it sound good? Like the actual?
Oh, it sounded amazing. Like I'm not a fan of the Hollywood Bowl, and I was talking to Nick about this, and it just, unless you're sitting up close, it doesn't sound great. This place sounded amazing. And it's like right across the street from the Hollywood Bowl. The parking was better. Everything. All this is covered on the second episode of Dharmalars, the 2.0. But yeah, it was great. It was great. And
what's funny because we were going to record a Lost podcast after we went to the concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's why there hasn't been a new Lost podcast in 2.5 years, 3 years.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the hurricane that was just like a rain. It was like little sprinkles.
Yeah, we could have totally gone. We could have totally. Well, one, our flights got canceled anyway, but we could have gone. We could have flown. We could have gone.
Because it totally changed direction like 2 days.
Yeah, it was like a last minute thing, but we thought we might lose our house.
I'm not making light of it. It was still bad.
Yeah.
But not in our area.
Yeah, it's just stayed south of us, and it just destroyed the south of us. And,
yeah.
Huh. That sucks.
Yeah, we got lucky. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are okay, and that you gave me those tickets.
You're okay long enough to give me those tickets.
Yeah.
Well, I think my wife was actually, because my daughter was pregnant, and she was worried about her having the baby around then.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I said when you guys was like, your daughter's having a kid right around that time.
Yeah,
but
she'll have it.
That's a good
she'll have
idea.
it late, but she actually had it early.
Yeah.
So it all worked out.
So you've done 2 episodes. Is there another one on the if it's biannually? Is there another one on the horizon?
I guess we should start talking about it pretty soon. It's kind of I was thinking about doing it annually, but then with the Lost concert, and then there was some other stuff. It might have been around Comic-Con time. There's some other thing that we wanted to discuss, I think Lost wise. So it just kind of worked out the timing on that one. But if something Lost comes up, then yeah, we're all for it. We'll be the first ones on.
I have a segment for you guys.
Yeah.
How long until Ralph fires Ben?
I think we're good as far as the show goes. Yeah, it'll be good. No more firing.
I think
you're doing it so infrequent that it's almost like you're kind of in between firing and just being a part of it anyway.
We're just waiting for like the Lost signal to light up into the sky.
That's true. Do you think that signal's ever gonna? Ralph, you and I did a show for your Patreon one. I had a lot of fun discussing it. And we still do. You've been our moderator for the Lost Fans Unite panel that we do at Comic-Con every year.
Is that what it's called?
They would call it Lost Fans Unite, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's still people that show up. There's still people that have never even seen the show that show up and have a discussion.
Yeah,
and this
and you
past
guys
year,
moved
I
over
thought was one of
to
the best ones.
You guys moved over to the library, and people are coming out of the con to come walk, a couple blocks up to go to that panel.
Which is amazing they do that.
Yeah.
And
I think you would still fill up that little Lulu room that you used to do it in.
Yeah.
I think you're still getting the same amount of people. It just kind of looks weird because it's a bigger venue.
It's a big venue.
Yeah. Really nice place.
I don't think
and then if anybody, I mean, not to plug my Patreon again, but anybody who didn't get to go to last year's, I recorded it and put it on my Patreon page.
Ooh, nice. And it's
So
like
you can
$1
listen
to
to
be
that
on your Patreon page, right?
What's that?
It's only $1 to be on your Patreon page, right?
It's $1.
Yeah.
And if you sign up for it with $1, you can go and download all, I don't know, I have like 35 episodes. You could download those and keep them forever and then unsubscribe.
This might be my problem, Ralph, with your Patreon page, is that you've made it so cheap that our Patreon page looks like we're ripping people off.
Well, here's the thing is I was just talking to someone about this. I have a Patreon show coming out, and he gave me the inspiration to do it for $1, because he's creating Star Wars songs, and he's releasing one Star Wars song, original Star Wars song, a week. And
was he independently wealthy, so it doesn't matter? What's this guy's deal?
He's I think he's in the same boat as me, where it's just I want people to listen to the show, so I make it as cheap as possible.
So you're all about the art,
but nobody has come over since then. Since I dropped it to $1, I think for the last 2 years, I've had around 19, 20 to 21 people.
See, because it's too cheap. People look at it like it's a dollar store podcast. You gotta raise the price a little bit.
There's other ones. If you do $2, you get some video.
Well, like a personal video chat with you or something for $2.
No. I do have one. I think it's $40, and you can be on the podcast. You can decide. You can pick the.
See, I think our level for being on is like $500.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a deal.
Takers.
No takers on it, but it's there.
Yeah. But I mean, for $1, you're getting at least 2 episodes. You're getting the Jay and Jack panel, and you're getting the me and Jay episode. I'm gonna have to have just the Jack episode. We're gonna have to get together.
Only fair.
Yeah.
And then I think ours just kind of was one. I think, did you ask me before, or was it because I was in town? You're like, let's do it. I don't even know. Or you asked me about it,
and I said, "Well, let's record." We went and got In-N-Out, which is delicious.
So tasty.
And
you live right by In-N-Out, which is amazing.
It's across the street. It sucks because it's right by the gas station I go to, and it's just that smell, that delicious non-cafeteria food smell that emits from In-N-Out.
Jack's just giving a grimace face over there.
I'll eat there. I just don't get the love.
I know. I've told this story before, but maybe people haven't listened to us in a while.
I did not go
bun
patty bun the last time.
A couple years ago, we go for Comic-Con every year, that Wednesday or whatever. Which you might have started that tradition, Ralph. I don't know.
And all the sheep
used to come to that too and used to do the whole thing. Anyway,
yeah.
So we go on Wednesdays, the first day of Comic-Con. And Jack finally, because usually he's with his mom, my grandma, and he can't get out of Claremont or wherever he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, come play, have fun. It's like, no, I can't leave the house.
Well, because you're trying to sneak by, and she's right there.
Yeah.
She
waits or she shows up by the door.
It's like that out of nowhere. You're like, I was walking with no shoes on. I thought I had it. Where are you going?
The first time he finally comes to everybody going to In-N-Out on the preview night, and he gets a burger, and it's literally just a patty bun. That is the burger that he gets,
which I'm known for now.
Oh my God!
So much like Ralph, you say one margarita.
Yeah, gets you drunk.
Gets me drunk. Whenever we are at In-N-Out or just in general, we just give Jack crap for being Bun Patty Bun.
And so that's all you've ever ordered from there?
No. I've ordered food. I've ordered food before. Just that day I wasn't feeling well. I said, all right, I don't want the lettuce, tomatoes, like crappy sauce, everything else they have on it.
The sauce is the best part, or one of the best parts.
I just give me the. They just looked at me like, really? I go, yeah, I'll put some ketchup on it. I'm saving you money. It's not any cheaper for me to do this. Just give me what I want. I'll go to Burger King, have it my way.
Yeah.
Or is that McDonald's? I can't.
But
remember.
you know the thing is,
Burger
like,
King.
those In-N-Out employees like talk crap about you. They probably still talk crap about you.
You know what? I don't care.
The legend of the guy with no hair.
Like you added something to the secret menu that nobody thought anybody would want on that secret menu.
What do they call it? The stupid style.
The stupid style. Bald style.
Bald style. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want it bald? That's Bun Patty Bun.
Speaking of which, geez, Jack, that picture, did you post it or did your wife post it with you with the feathered hair?
Feathered hair
from the 70s. It was on Instagram.
Oh, I posted that.
Oh, it's so amazing. So amazing.
That's an episode of Crazy Hank TV.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but I mentioned that the problem is that you feathered your hair and it flew away.
That, yes. And that could have been it because I did spend hours on the hair.
Blow drying it.
Yeah, just
into the atmosphere.
You're torching it.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. I abused it because the part had to be perfect.
It was.
Roll up your windows. My hair's gonna mess up.
Oh my god. Did you do like a bunch of Aquanet or something just to keep it in place?
It wasn't Aqua. It was the dry look.
Oh,
it was called the dry look. A couple pumps. It was like concrete.
What? Couple pumps? What are you talking about?
It wasn't an air. It was
the 70s. It was a different time.
No, it was like late 80s, early 80s. Little pump thing.
Oh, okay, sure.
It was a plastic bottle, a little pump. Because aerosol was killing the ozone.
It was. It's slowly growing back, by the way, the ozone.
Because I stopped. My hair. I went bald.
Little do people know that Jack losing his hair.
I saved the ozone.
I stopped using the product. That's funny.
They went out of business.
It's like, crap, it's our one customer. He buys enough to keep us going for years. I'm glad we discovered this on the show today. Oh, man. So, I mean, yeah, having been back's got to be great. Doing that show's great. Yeah. What else is? I mean, you run the VHS Dude Vine, which was a pretty popular channel until Vine kind of withered.
Yeah, Vine. And then the creator of Vine keeps talking about a new app called Byte, BYTE, which it sounds like it's going to be just like Vine. So
then why shut down Vine?
What's that?
Why did they shut down Vine?
Twitter bought it and then decided, nah, we don't want it. Just let it go away.
Dang.
So yeah, I do. I try to do stuff on Instagram. It's just not as fun as Vine, but it's enjoyable. I mean, I like doing it. I've been spreading myself too thin though, with the podcasts and then doing that stuff, and then also.
And for those who don't know, VHS Dude, and is it on Instagram? Is at VHS Dude?
Across the board.
VHS Dude.
At VHS Dude.
You kind of find those old cheesy somethings from a videotape, and then you just kind of find the most awkward part. And the stuff you pick is just so hilarious. And so many people have like copied that, since you've done it. But like, I feel like you are the originator.
There's been others. A lot of people like to edit. Things like Everything is Terrible came around before I did, and there's a few others. But when I started, I don't really do edits. I just want to find what is the craziest thing out of context, and then just show that part of it. And so there's just like, I don't know, awkward stuff and weird puppet stuff where if you don't have the full context of the tape, not like the tapes make anything more clear, but you just take like, I just find like that's what was good about Vine is you only have 6 seconds to, to play with. And so it would just be the weirdest thing. And you would look at it and just be like, what does that mean? How does that make sense? I can't even imagine in what world this 6 seconds should exist amongst anything else. Like, so the Vine page still exists.
So people how would you find it?
I think it's vine.co/VHS Dude.
Okay. And
it'll have all of my Vines still there. I did exactly 1,000 Vines.
Wow. And you had like 80,000 followers, something crazy like that, right?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
Now, how do you get you actually have the VHS tapes? Or you just find it on the
internet? Yeah, I have a VCR sitting right next to my computer with a thing that goes from the RCA cables into a USB. And so I can pretty much capture anything off of a tape.
So you go to the swap meet and find tapes and...
yeah, or thrift stores, old bookstores.
Because I collect tapes too.
Yeah.
But like, how do you like find something that will be awkward? Or is there a certain, like, if somebody out there wants to kind of find the stuff that Ralph finds, like what lens are you looking through?
Well, what's good is you can like buy, like some places will have like buy 20 for $1.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, okay, cool. So it's not like I have to be too choosy on what I buy because it's going to be cost like, nothing. So I kind of just look at stuff that I haven't seen before. So there's like Disney tapes out there and there's like the We Sing series, which you see a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of things that, are out there that are kind of popular. What I like to do is find things that you could just tell were done like by a local church or, things that are like very specific, like a how-to on something very specific. Like I found this one tape and it is about designer sweatshirts. And it's like a lady from Wisconsin, like putting decorations on sweatshirts that you would get like at Big Five.
Oh my God, yes.
So
it's
it's
like
like
an ugly
you just
sweater, but not intentionally.
Yeah, and so for like 1/20th of $1, okay, I'll grab that. It could be the most boring thing, but if I could find a crazy 6-second clip out of that, or like a minute clip out of that, people are gonna love this. And
do you watch the whole tape to try and find the best part?
Yeah, I'll just put on the tape and I'll just kind of fast forward through it and like stop every once in a while. But you can find like there's some like crazy like religious tapes where they use a lot of religious tapes for kids like to use puppets. So you fast forward to the puppet parts. And if you see a puppet devil doing something, you're gonna stop and watch and check.
That's gold, right? That's Vine gold.
You should find Morton Downey.
Downey
Jr.
Yeah, I bet you I could. I think I there's also things that people record off of TV. Like you'll find, like I got a tape for like National Lampoon's Vacation, and going through that and finding like old commercials is fun too.
Well, I know we both love Dinosaur Dracula.
Yeah,
and he's done that for years. Just find the old commercials and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I think on their podcast actually talked about Morton Downey Jr. What's that?
I've actually sent him a couple of tapes with commercials on it before.
Oh, nice. Speaking of commercials, that's a great segue into this commercial break. Be right back. So we don't have a lot of advertisers, just what gets inserted by Spreaker or whatever it is. But what we do have is a great program in association with Amazon. If you use Amazon.com to purchase things, which a lot of us do, you can use this link, jayandjack.com/Amazon for all of your purchases. And it'll look just like the normal Amazon page that you have. But instead of buying it and it gets shipped to you, you buy it, it gets shipped to you, and a small percentage comes back to the Jay and Jack production fold. So it's a really nice, easy, passive way to help support these podcasts. And if you enjoy these podcasts and you also shop at Amazon, it's a no-brainer. jayandjack.com/Amazon for all of your Amazon shopping needs. Shop there today.
I've been doing a monthly thing. I skipped December, but I've been doing a monthly breakdown of the themes from Star Wars
on your Patreon show.
Yeah, the John Williams themes, which is a lot of fun.
Is your most recent one episode 1, or at least I saw the image of Liam Neeson?
It's episode 1 is the most recent one. In February I'll do episode 2, then episode 3, and then I'll do 7. Then Rogue One, and I'm doing them in release order.
Oh, nice!
So you can kind of see the evolution of the music.
Are you going to have Giacchino on for Rogue One?
I want to real bad. I reached out to him a while ago and asked him if he wanted to do it. He said yes, but he's a busy guy, so it's a little tough. But I think in 4 months I'll be doing the Rogue One episode. So I'll reach out to him.
Hopefully the stars align. And I think one of the more popular Patreon shows that you did was about Disneyland, right?
I've done 2 of those. I was actually going to send Alex. There's a podcast called The Backside of Water, which is it's a podcast all about Disneyland attractions. And I had him on to talk about Disneyland, which is where I worked at Disneyland for a total of 13 and a half years. And so I have a different perspective on it. And so he just came on.
Perspective of I hate this.
It's been different since I've gone to nights. Like I actually enjoy being there a little bit more. Because there's no guests. You kind of have the run of the park to yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, it's nice and quiet.
Can you go on the rides?
Not really. They're all closed down and their maintenance is, doing their safety checks and stuff. Yeah. But I've done 2 episodes with Alex where he just picks my brain, and those have been a lot of fun. The first one I did, one of my Patreon listeners says it was his favorite podcast that I had ever done. He thought it was the most interesting and fun. So that was kind of cool. I'm going to have to get Alex back on to do a follow-up, a third episode. But yeah, it's those are fun. And then I really like doing the film score, the Star Wars film score ones.
Yeah. Well, I think I would argue that the prequels have some of John Williams' best work in terms of score. Like the scores are amazing. I remember just getting the soundtracks when they would come out, like, oh, this is so good.
And that's one of the things I mentioned.
Over a lot of the crappiness of the prequels.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned on the show is like you can whatever you think about the prequels is fine. I don't care what your opinions are on the movies, but we're going to showcase the music, and the music is good. Mm-hmm. Like you can say, it could be your least favorite thing. There's a ton of scores to movies I absolutely hate, but I love the music.
You hate Hans Zimmer, like you're famous for hating Hans Zimmer.
Oh, I just don't like Hans Zimmer.
Oh, as a person, so you just hate his music because you hate him.
I don't like his music. I don't like him as a person.
He's our next guest, so we'll. Yeah.
Actually,
I have no problem letting him know the way he does things isn't the way. So, for those who don't know, people make a movie, and a composer comes in, and a composer comes in and writes the music for the movie. Mm-hmm. What Hans Zimmer does is while they're making the movie, he'll write 12 minutes of music. And then when the movie's done, other composers will pick apart that 12 minutes of music or whatever and kind of insert it and make it fit into the movie.
Really? So there's like cut and paste or like loop
they cut and paste or they do their own recordings or they do their own compositions based on the themes within that 12 minutes. So that's why when you see the Man of Steel trailer, mm-hmm. they've already got the music from the movie in it because Hans Zimmer created the theme before the movie was even finished.
Oh, wow.
And then other composers come in, take those themes and rejigger it. So if you look at any movie with Hans Zimmer doing the score, go to the end credits and it'll say additional music by, and there'll be like a list of 5 guys.
Dang.
And then he gets the music by credit.
Wow.
It makes me mad. And then on top of that,
I feel like that's like going behind the curtain, because I don't necessarily love him or hate him, but I think, The Dark Knight and Inception, I think, have memorable scores that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. So you're saying somebody else really did most of the work?
Well, with The Dark Knight, it's tough because he collaborated with James Newton Howard, who is probably my second favorite composer of all time. Mm-hmm. And I can tell the parts he did versus Hans Zimmer. I don't know if Hans Zimmer's always been this way. I don't know if it happened kind of in the mid 90s or something. So if you look at like Lion King, I don't know if he did the entire score for that in a traditional sense. Mm-hmm. But
To Die For, that's a great track from the Lion King score.
Yeah. So that might have been. I don't have a problem with the Lion King score. Like, I watched it recently. It's a little bit in your face, but but he may have done that traditionally, waited for the movie to be done and then composed the score. But I don't know. There's something about that drives me nuts.
Just grinds my gears, rubs me the wrong way.
That's how I podcast, though. I just do the first 12 minutes.
Well, I mean, can you imagine if you did like, let's say you saw the trailer for an episode of Lost and you put in like 12 minutes of you recording stuff about what you saw, and then Jay had to go in and splice in all of your track like into his conversation. It's like, that's not how it works.
Actually, people don't realize that's actually what I did for 10 years.
I would walk out and just, okay, we have the recording.
You just say words. Kate, smoke monster.
Yeah.
VW bus.
Underwater hatch.
Lock. Idiot.
Wrath of Khan.
I would do a whole season with just maybe like an hour.
Is that what's happening now?
Yep.
Yeah.
You just dropping in that Wrath of Khan soundbite from.
People don't realize Jack's been dead for 5 years, and I'm just slowly.
That's not a lie.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of podcasting. You're not seeing us do it, so that I could this technically could have been what I've been doing for.
Hey, if it's worked this long, should put out an album of Jack's greatest hits on vinyl.
Oh, yes. God, wouldn't that be fun?
Rosa Bernard Dharma. just these phrases being thrown out.
Set to Hans Zimmer music.
Oh, shit.
But, if we were in the 60s or whatever, that would be a thing. Like, we just put out an album of just, and nobody would ever buy it. It would just be that thing you find in a thrift shop later. Like, what the?
And then I would pick it up and put it on Vine.
The circle is
this
complete.
guy.
Bun, Patty Bun.
Look at this hairdo. Look at this hair guy over here. Was it Farrah Fawcett? Was she the feathered hair?
Yeah.
Is that who you modeled
your
hair after?
Should recreate that poster.
Ralph, you're good with Photoshop. Oh my God, yes, you need to do that.
All right, done.
Just put his head on the. Because I think you're actually doing that pose in that picture.
What's funny?
I'll put it on my Patreon for 50 cents.
There you go.
What's funny? The comments people are going, Jan Michael Vincent, Richard Hatch. My sister said Jim Carrey. She thinks I look like Jim Carrey. I don't know.
No, I don't see that at all.
Nah, I don't know. But Jan Michael Vincent at the
time. Maybe in the Mask, right?
After he's wearing the mask.
I don't know. But Jan Michael Vincent, maybe now.
Because he's bald.
Vincent. Oh, he didn't age well.
No, the mask. He made it.
Oh, the mask.
You look like Jim Carrey in the Mask.
Jack's actually fantasizing about Jan Michael Vincent. He was lost.
Well, younger Jan Michael Vincent.
I don't even know who that is. Who's Jan Michael Vincent?
Jan Michael Vincent?
He was
in Airwolf. He was in the World's Greatest Athlete Disney movie with Tim Conway.
Never heard of it.
Oh, come on.
I'm sure I have some VHS tapes with him in it.
He was like a stud, and now he's just a dud. And I apologize because he
didn't.
Well, now that you start making the comparison,
oh God,
I think you're right. I think they're right on this one, Jack.
Oh my God, what happened?
He got addicted to drugs. It was a bad thing.
Oh, is he like a train wreck?
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
not
sad.
good.
And I think he
I
has.
feel bad for him.
Yeah, I think he's. It was bad.
He was really handsome once upon a time.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. He was just. So
Holy
it
crap.
happens to all of us.
We're still talking about Jan Michael Vincent, right? Not Jack.
Yes.
But you know what though? Jan Michael Vincent still has his hair.
Yeah, I'd rather be bald.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh man. Well, Ralph, it is always good to chat with you. It's always good to spend time with you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll have to have Jack on the Patreon.
I think it's only fair.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, I want to have you back on, but I need to do a one-on. I don't think I've ever done a one-on. Oh wait, I did do a one-on-one with Jack.
Yeah.
The first,
We did our 100 movie film list. Yeah.
You guys enjoyed that, right? So yeah, you'll be fine.
I thought it was a pretty good list for both.
I mean, 100 is a lot. Did I do 100? Was it
how
more?
much? It was only supposed to be
You
10.
both, you each had,
10.
you each had 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, why I was ticked off because I agreed to the top 10 because that was your pitch, Jack. Was
This
top
is what
10.
happened. Ralph kept saying, "I can't break it down. Can we get to 20?" I said, "Okay, yeah, 30, sure, 40." And then he just kept going. I go, "Sure, I'll make a list." So,
And then Jack comes to me and like, we have to do 100. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm not doing 100 movies.
I could do top 10 Star Wars movies. But that's only because there's exactly 10 that are available right now.
I just did that on Crazy Hank TV.
Oh, there you go.
Top 10. Guess who won?
Who's that?
Guess the top 3.
Empire,
Okay. Second.
New Hope,
And
Rogue One.
no.
What was it? Skippy the
Return
Bush
of the Jedi.
Kangaroo?
Finished third.
Skippy
the Bush Kangaroo. Man.
I don't think
that's an
I
old
can. I think I have to bring that up every time. That's my Wrath of Khan.
That's your Wrath of Khan. Well, I mean, Ralph, we've known you. I've been friends with you for like 13 years or something. 14 years. It'll be 14 years in November of this year.
Yeah.
Long time. But so thankful that you are in our lives and that we're friends. You're a good person.
Yeah, and I want to thank you guys for promoting my Patreon page. It really swell.
Where can people find it? Patreon.com/
People listening, it's only a
Watch
buck.
Casino Skunk. But no, seriously though, like I mean, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have a Patreon page if it wasn't for you guys.
Oh, stop.
Your show, well, the transmission first, but then your show got me into podcasting, and then. But no, yeah, I mean, it's true, because I would, between you guys and Scott and Steve and Ryan and Jen, I wouldn't have gotten into podcasting and stuff. So it's something that I've enjoyed for the last 12 years. And, I guess, 13 years now. Jeez Louise. Because I started in 2006. But yeah, I can't thank you guys enough. And you have been, as much as we joke with each other, you have been good friends the entire time. I've never had to fire you guys. And yeah, it means the world to me when you guys ask me to come do the Comic-Con stuff. So. And
yes, we will see you. Will we see? Can you come this year? Can you do it again?
I think so. Yeah, I think it'll be pretty easy to do.
All right, perfect. Yeah. So, for those listening to this, if you want to see what you just heard, but talking about Lost and live, if you go to, I think you just come to that library if you're even in San Diego. I don't think you need a pass. But Comic-Con weekend, usually Saturdays, we have the Lost Fans Unite panel. Well, Ralph, we appreciate you taking the time with us, and as always, I'm sure we will talk again soon. But thank you for being on the show. Yeah, thank you, and send my best to your families.
We'll do.
We will.
I like them more. All right.
Bye. Bye.
All right, Jack. It's the last segment of the show. Now, the intent of the Jay and Jack show is each episode will close with a different segment. Some of them will be old school segments.
Okay.
We talked about earlier, maybe a crackpot theory of the week, if it makes sense. And so for our first episode, we're going to bring back the 5.
Questions for Jack.
The 5. Questions for Jack. The five. Questions for Jack. What really say? Nobody knows. One thing's for sure. Almost anything goes. The five. Questions for Jack. All right, it is the 5, and it's a true 5 in that it is questions for Jack. So,
Okay.
Now there's generally a light outline that I made for the show, and I shared it with your email. I don't know if you saw it.
I did see it.
So maybe you already
Along
know
with my Westworld at 8:00
notification
every Monday.
Um,
I should be good at this because I've started this thing on Facebook. Has a thing with Facebook Messenger.
mm-hmm.
You do trivia with all these different people. So
Yeah.
I'm doing trivia with like 10 people,
Yeah. Okay.
and I'm still in their little things. Well, sometimes.
Oh.
Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose.
Okay. All right.
It's,
Well,
it's kind of addicting.
well, if it is a 5 on the Jane Jack show, it'll generally be themed by who our guest was. And today's guest was Ralph. And he, one of the things he is known for is his VHS Dude
Okay.
Vine account, as well as Instagram and all of that stuff.
He does a lot.
Today's 5 theme will be around VHS.
Okay.
And if you saw those notes, you would have seen that today's theme.
I didn't see that part.
So you could have You could have not cheated, but you could have studied ahead of the 5.
No, I saw that the different breakdown, but I didn't see that part. I just saw 5, and I go, okay.
All right. So the game is you have 5 questions. If you get 3 out of the 5,
And I have 5 minutes to answer each question.
no, not at like 30 seconds.
Why are you looking at the camera now?
Because you've started me on it. Yeah.
I can't. Can you take it down? We both keep looking like we have an audience.
Well, maybe we'll have a camera there eventually, and then
Maybe we'll pretend that you're characters. What do you call them?
action figures.
Action figures. You see the guy that got upset that his wife, I guess, messed up his action figures,
Uh-huh.
and he took an axe to his own windshield of his car.
What?
Yeah, he got upset. You thought I was going to say his wife, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like,
And I guess a couple days later, he defended his actions. He was upset. I don't know what she did to him. I didn't read that part. I just got axed to the windshield.
I mean, I guess if you ruined them, but
But then he still has to pay for a windshield.
that's true. I mean, Colleen, she records in here and she does the broadcast. And her, as well as Zach, can break things just by looking at them. And there will be times when I come into the studio after she's been in here. And I'll know. Like, something will be askew. Like, you see that She-Ra's knocked over right there on the thing. That was Zach. He was literally in here for like 5 seconds. And then he pulled the thing out and a whole bunch of things fell.
Because he can't stop touching. He likes to touch everything.
And in Colleen's similar fashion. So it'll be moved, and I'll come in and I'll be like, so what happened? She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, what did you hit to knock these things? I was like, I didn't hit anything. I was like, so why is this here? I was like, how did you know? I was like, I will know. I'll know if something gets moved around here. But I don't take an axe to my own car.
No. Maybe your wife's car, right?
No, because I'm like on the bill for, I have to help pay for that
true,
too.
yeah.
What's mine is hers. And
I think I heard
mine.
this story correct. I think it was crazy.
Man. Anyway, so today's theme of the 5 is VHS. These should be pretty easy.
All right.
I'm trying to be easy for your first time back in the 5. All right. VHS stands for
God. Video hold system?
close. Video home
Oh,
system.
Video home system. I was thinking like home. Anyway. Holding the. I don't know why.
All right.
I was close.
I thought you had it. I thought you were gonna pull it out of your butt, but nope. All right.
Because it was part of life. VHS.
Absolutely. I mean, I dig it. I have an old school TV with a VHS player.
You do.
All right. Next up, everybody knows the VHS versus Betamax wars. It was the format wars of the late 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most people speculate that the reason VHS went over Betamax is because the pornography industry chose VHS as their standard. There were a lot of factors. That was one of them. What is the other one that is often cited as the reason VHS won?
I knew the porn one.
Yeah.
Because we used to have our mailbox set, or there were two video stores in our. One sold porn, one didn't.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that didn't, he was a family guy. He said, "I'm struggling because I won't sell porn."
Mm-hmm.
The other guy was making a ton of money.
Yeah.
So I knew that. What was the other reason?
It's kind of a technical reason.
Just the companies chose to make VHS over beta.
That's a supporting one. I'll give you half a point on that.
Okay.
But the main secondary one, because basically Sony made Betamax, and they were trying to make it a deal with, I think, one of the Japanese industry standards people, like make them the only one and force it. But JVC actually made VHS, and they thought it should be for everybody. So they got a bunch of different people to license it, and that's what Beta couldn't be the only one. But the main secondary reason is the original Betamax only could record for 60 minutes at high quality.
Oh.
VHS could record for 2 hours at high quality. So
2 hours.
For a lot of people, if you slowed down the beta tape, because beta had slightly better video quality, but if you slowed it down to try and get 2 hours like a VHS, the video quality was awful. So that was another.
It's funny you mentioned JVC, and I've told this story before. First VCR I ever bought was JVC, $1,000.
$1,000.
But it lasted. You had it.
I know.
It was like 20 years this thing lasted, 20, 25 years.
I'm kind of bummed it died, because that'd be cool to still have, because it was like the top loader.
It was a top loader. It had the it actually had the little things I had to set for each channel. You had to, like, whatever channel was on cable, you had to program.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had the wire remote. It wasn't wireless. It was a wire remote. Anyway.
I mean, that was a big deal. I think there's a story like Paul McCartney said when he went to Elvis's house, he had one of the first TVs with a wireless remote, and they thought it was like one of the coolest things they ever seen.
Growing up, my mom had a wireless remote. It was called a Kids.
All right. Question I think we're on number 3. Now, everyone knows that DVD basically brought about the end of the VHS tape. What was the most popular optical disc medium before DVD?
Huh.
And your cousin Brian had one of these players.
He had what?
One of these players.
I don't know. Floppy?
No, it's called Laserdisc.
Oh, Laserdisc.
Like, it was a record size.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
disc.
He had one.
He had one. Yeah, it's the only time I ever saw one. Was the one he had.
Was it this? Oh, it's at house, right?
At his house. Yeah.
Okay, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Next question, number 4. When was the last VHS player produced?
2006.
Final answer?
Yes.
2016.
Really?
Yes. 2016.
Okay, that's close. I was going to say 1990 something. So.
Well, I think VHS tapes were last produced in 2009, I think. But the players, they still made until 2016. You probably won't get this last one because it is what company made the last VHS player?
JVC?
Nope.
Sony?
Nope. I'll give you one more guess.
RCA?
No. Funai.
Who?
Funai is the company.
Who?
Funai.
Funai?
Funai.
Funai?
Like Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
Funai. You've seen them around. They make.
I know who they are.
Oh, you're spinning.
Would not have been my top 10 guess.
All right, well, Jack, it's been a while, so you know.
I'm a little rusty. Well, I've been doing all that trivia with other people. I was kind of worn out.
I was kind of thinking you'd do better. You'd be better prepared.
Well, they give you 4 answers to choose from.
All right, well, there we go. And next time we'll see. Next time if you're more prepared. And,
I'll study.
There you go. There you go. All right, that is it for our first episode. We made it, Jack.
I'm excited. It was pretty cool. It was fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was like telling your mom. I go, I don't know. He's had a podcasting shape. I don't know. Has he been running? He's been training. I don't know. I want to get there. He's like, my name's Jay. I didn't know what to expect. But you
Do I still got it?
You still got it.
That's good.
You're like Tony Gwynn. Just hit the ball no matter what.
Yeah. Horribly out of shape. I can still hit the ball. Rest in peace, Tony Gwynn.
But he could.
Yeah.
Guy could hit.
Had a gift. had a gift.
Yep.
If you'd like to give us a call, one of the segments we'd like to have on the show is listener feedback segment. And it could be about anything. Again, this show isn't necessarily tied to one topic. It's generally run by the themes are from what's going on in our lives and also what our guests are going on in their lives. So really, it can be about what's going on in your life, or maybe something you want to share, or it's a funny story, or it's something you want us to weigh in on, whatever. It could be anything. Give us a call at 385-309-0311.
And listener feedback has always been my favorite parts of all our podcasts.
And since this is the first time we've recorded together in a long time, we can actually do this properly. You want to do the thing? 385-309-0311.
Calling time with your questions, comments, and or theories. Nice.
And send us an email to jayandjack@gmail.com. Once again, it's jayandjack@gmail.com. So if you want to write something out, or if you don't want to call, if you can record, maybe you have your own recording system at home, send in an audio file. That works as well. But yeah, we'd love your feedback. What are your thoughts on our first episode? Love to have that too.
And if you're sending an email, Jay's young, you don't have to have the font as large as you do when you send it to the Ramblecast.
And I'll paste it in our show notes really large so Jack can read it if it's on the show. Yeah, so that should be good. If you like this show, it's a new show on iTunes, and there's nothing better for a new show on iTunes than giving it a great review. So give us a review on jayandjack.com/iTunes. Should be on there, as well as you search Jay and Jack, the Jay and Jack Show. You can see that beautiful primary colors of yellow, red, and blue, and that iPod that Jacob put together. Thank you, Jacob, for doing that. And yeah,
always great work by Jacob.
Always great work. I want to thank the people that make this show possible. Our patrons over at patreon.com/Jay and Jack, especially Attack from Tokyo, Eckhart Richter, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan,
and Ed,
the letter carrier. Want to thank Jack for being on the show with me all these years.
It's fun.
Thanks for doing this show. I want to thank Ralph, our guest. Again, known him forever. And very thankful to be our first guest on the show. The amazing thing
with Ralph, I don't think I've talked to Ralph in a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we just talked last week.
Yeah. Want to thank Jacob, who does our artwork. Want to thank Rob, who does our website. Colleen, who does the posting. The music is original by me, Jay.
It sounds like I don't do anything.
And you're one of the hosts on the show.
Okay,
I thanked you first.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was too busy looking at the camera. Are there cue cards?
And this is part of the Jay and Jack Network. Check out all the other podcasts that we do, like Ramblecast After Dark, The Broadcast, and Survivor. Jay, Jack, and Colleen, I think, is coming back for this next season. So be on the lookout for that. And then any other? Oh, Game of Thrones with Jay, Jack, and Nick. That'll be back in April. Yeah.
And that will have Nick on it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we put Nick first for the last season.
First, yeah.
I think we should do that. I don't know if he's listening this far into this show.
To be honest with you, I think we should just take Nick off. He can do all the work, but we'll take his name off. Or spell his name wrong.
There we go.
Spell it N-I-C.
Well, Jacob likes having fun at Nick's expense because he made that really funny, the Nick show with Nick. I feel like we can get him to make some fun variations on the logo.
And not tell Nick.
And not tell him. And then just have it. I think it's a good idea.
We're making it sound like Nick doesn't have a sense of humor. He has a very good sense of humor.
He does. He's just a little sensitive.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Nick. We love you. Anyway, all right. That is it. We'll see you guys next time. Hasta luego and goodbye.
Bye.